Assalamualaikum and greetings everyone. Today, me and my group Hardman will be presenting on our Malaysia brands market entry strategy for our fragrance in France presentation. Our team Hardman consists of 5 people, which is Faris Irfan, Muhammad Akil, Nur Alachin, Muhammad Azhan, and also me, Amir Lukman.
Today, I will be presenting a strategic market entry for Scentara Malaysia, a homegrown fragrance brand with a bold ambition to enter the global capital of perfumery, which is France. So, this presentation will explore the rationale, objective, market landscape, and strategic recommendation for this expansion. So, why we choose France, the epicenter of a heritage perfumery, as a target market? The answer lies in ambition and timing. France has a mature yet evolving fragrance industry where younger consumers are embracing niche, ethical, and halal certified brands. So, as you can see, for Scentara Malaysia, we are aim to be halal certified vegan cruelty free perfumes, and the target is into France, which is the goal is to cultural adaptation and ethical luxury positioning for Gen Z and millennials. So next is the objective. So our project is guided by four objectives, which is to assess the potential of the French fragrance market for halal certified brands, to recommend an entry mode suited to Centara's identity and capabilities. The third one is to identify and address cultural and regulatory challenges, and finally is to propose long-term strategies for brand growth and consumer resonance. So we move on to the Scentara overview, which Scentara is founded in 2025, which inspired by Malaysians' biodiversity. And the product that we produce will be the perfumes, body mist, and essential oils. So the signature fragrance notes that is especially made from Malaysia, which is Lang and Pandan, Bunga Kantan, and Frangipani. So the brand stands out through ethical sourcings, halal and vegan certificates, and eco-conscious packaging inspired by traditional batik patterns, as you can see from the diagram. And the mission to our brand is to craft fragrance that embody the beauty of Malaysia's tropical heritage, which blending ethical practices and exquisite scents to inspire confidence and connection across culture. For our vision is to become a globally recognized fragrance house that redefines luxury through sustainability, exclusivity, and the celebration of Southeast Asia identity. Before we getting into any global industry market, we have to first study the country's profile. So we are here to study the French profile. So the French fragrance market is worth 3.5 billion and is dominated by heritage giants. Yet niche brands are gaining traction. Trends such as sustainability, halal, and vegan certifications, and artisanal storytellings are reshaping consumer expectation. This is the window of opportunity for Santara. So the legal environment that we have to follow entering the union means complying with strict domestic regulation. Santara must adhere to EU cosmetic regulation and reach clear product labeling in French, good manufacturing practices, trademark and scent formulation protection. By preparing early, Santara can ensure smooth compliance and brand protection. So the cultural consideration that we have to take over is the sense should be layered, subtle, and evolve over time. Storytelling also must emphasize the heritage and authenticity of the product, and business culture values hierarchy, formality, and intellectual rigor. Negotiations are precise, data driven, and long term. And lastly, even simple French phrases can go a long way in showing respect.
Move on to the SWOT analysis. Starting with our strength, we offer a unique tropical fragrance profile like Pandan, Fragini, and Ilang Ilang, scents that rarely seen in French perfumery, which have a standout and attract niche fragrance lovers. Our batik-inspired packaging highlight Malaysia rich cultural heritage, which create a visual identity of Malaysia in France. And we are halal certified and ethically produced, which position Santara as an affordable, ethical luxury brand that appeals to both Muslim and non-Muslim consumer. However, we recognize some weaknesses. Santara has a low brand recognition in Europe, especially when we compare to legacy names like Dior or Chanel, and our logistic retail presence in France is still limited, which may pose challenges in order fulfillment and also in-store visibility. There's also a perception gap as Malaysian brand may be underestimated in the market dominated by a French perfume heritage. And finally, language and cultural barriers may hinder effective marketing if we don't localize properly. Moving on to the opportunities, there is also a growing demand for niche, ethical, and halal fragrance driven by a changing consumer values. By leverage the e-commerce and influencer marketing, we can enter cost effectively while targeting a digital first consumer. We are also seeing millennials and also Gen Z increasingly prioritizing authenticity and sustainability, which align with our core values. And by forming partnership with a boutique retailers, we can gain credibility and also reach a curated customer basis. And finally, we face some threats, which is the dominance of legacy brands like Chanel and Dior, make it hard for newcomers like us to gain attraction. Cultural misalignment, especially in a scent profiles and also visual packaging, could lead to the market rejection if not carefully adopted. And the strict EU cosmetic regulation can delay launches and lead to the penalties if we not fully compliant. And lastly, economic uncertainty and inflation may reduce consumer willingness to spend to our product. To succeed in France, we need a smart way to enter the market. Our plan is to start with a digital first strategy, which means we will sell online through a French language website and partner with a popular platform like Sephora, Amazon, and Nose. This will help us reach a customer without spending too much on the physical store. We will also have a pop-up events in the cities like Paris, Lyon, and Marseille. This event let people smell and try our perfume, which help feel connected to our brand. And this is important because fragrance is a personal and sensory product. Our target customers are millennials and also Gen Z from age from 18 to 35. They love niche perfume, care about sustainability, and are active on TikTok with the trends like hashtag perfume talk. And the second target customer is a burgers group, young, wealthy French Muslim looking for a halal certified luxury products. And this group is growing and fit perfectly with a Scentara value of inclusiveness and also the ethical beauty. Scentara wants to be known as a brand that brings tropical elegance with halal purity, a mix of exotic scents, culture, and ethical values. We tell our brand story in three main ways. The first one is botanical storytelling. We use rare tropical ingredients like bunga kantan and pandan that represent our Malaysian roots. These connect with young French consumer who want something that unique and meaningful. Second is halal and ethical certification. Our perfumes are alcohol-free, vegan, and cruelty-free. And these features are good not only for a Muslim consumer but also for anyone who prefers clean and ethical beauty. Lastly is artisanal packaging. Our design combine Malaysian batik patterns with a simple and elegant French look, and this makes the packaging feels premium and reflect both tradition and modern style of Malaysian and also French. Marketing mates, this will show you how Scentara will compete in France using 4 Ps. The first one is product. We will sell perfume, body mist, and oil inspired by Malaysia natural plants. All products are halal, vegans, and cruelty free, which attract customers who care about clean and ethical beauty. Second is price. We use mid to premium price, similar to a brand like Deep Take or Le Labo, and this keep the brand feel exclusive but still affordable for a younger luxury buyers. Third is place. We will focus on selling online using our French website and stores like Sephora. And we will also work with the EU-based warehouse to make sure delivery is fast and follow European rules. And lastly is promotion. We will promote Shantara through storytelling, pop-up events, social media, and influencer. We will also join perfume trade shows like Essence and Cosmoprof to build awareness about our brand and connect with the industry buyers.
Now that we've covered our core marketing mix, let's dive deeper into one of the most critical elements for our success in France, which is cultural adaptation. So first, let's talk about the product itself, where we will be adapting product formulation to French taste. The French have very sophisticated olfactory preferences. They favor evolving scent pyramids that start with fresh tops, move to a floral or spicy hearts, and settle into a musky central base. So to meet this expectation, Centaur's approach is to create a French edition, where in this edition we will blend our signature tropical botanicals like pandan, and Ilang Ilang, with notes that are more familiar to French notes such as bergamot and musk. A key example of this is softening our unique pandan note with white musk, creating a scent that is both familiar yet exotic. Next, we must adapt our visual and packaging identity. Our current identity, with its vibrant batik motif and tropical palettes, is unique and beautiful. However, the French references lean heavily into towards minimalism, muted tones, and also refined materials. This aesthetic is heavily inspired by the leading brands like Diptyque, Le Labo, and Courdijan. So to bridge this, our refined strategy involves several key changes. We will incorporate monochrome batik embossing, either inside the box or directly on the bottle as subtle nod to our heritage. We'll use elegant glass bottle with minimalist font and natural caps. Our packaging will be made from biodegradable and recyclable materials to meet strong Europeans' demand for sustainability. We will ensure a tasteful material of our halal, vegan, and cruelty-free labels. And finally, we will guarantee full compliance with all French and EU regulation for labeling allergens and shelf life icons. Now, the second is adapting how we communicate. This brings us to language and brand communication in France. Language is identity. French is the language of emotional resonance, luxury, and cultural pride. Simply using English is not enough for consumer facing touchpoints. Our localization approach, therefore, is comprehensive. We will have a full website, packaging, and all advertising materials in fluent French. Crucially, we will use transcreation, not literal translation, to ensure our brand's voice retains its personality and emotional impact. Next, we have a unique opportunity in educating on halal. While the concept of halal in France can be misunderstood, it represents a growing market. Our strategy is to frame halal as ethical, clean, and inclusive. We will avoid religious framing and instead focus on its core principle of purity, hygiene, and being cruelty free. Our tactics to achieve this includes creating blog posts on these universal halal values, launching influencers campaign with both Muslim and non-Muslim creators, and using a neutral, inclusive brand voices in all our communication. The market potential is significant. There are 6 to 7 million Muslims in France, including an untapped market of young, brand aware, and affluent French Muslims, or Beurgeois, who are actively seeking halal certified luxury goods. Finally, we must be aware of seasonality and business culture. There are key French seasons of fragrance sale. We must know to avoid launches during the August shutdown. We will run focus gift campaigns for Christmas, Valentine's, and Mother's Day. The best time for new launches is La Rentrée in September. Regarding business etiquette in France, all interaction must be formal, punctual, and data-driven. We must respect hierarchy, craftsmanship, and sustainability. Most importantly, building face-to-face relationship is key to gaining buyer and distributor trust. By carefully implementing this layer of cultural adaptation, we can ensure that Scentara not only enters the French market, but also thrive within it. Now, let's look at how this strategy translates into our financial projection.
For our revenue streams, we have three main income channels, which is DTC, retail partners, and pop-up events. So for the first part, we will utilize localized French websites such as Sephora and Amazon to put our products. Next is retail partners. We will place our products in niche boutiques and concept stores such as Sense Unique Perfumery in Paris. We will also join pop-up events held quarterly in Paris, Lyon, and Marseille. As a matter of fact, 25% of luxury perfume purchases now happen online, according to Euromonitor. Moving on to the key financial indicators, our gross profit margin will be 70%. It is an industry norm for niche fragrances. We will achieve our break-even point by Q4 in year 1. For the customer acquisition cost, it will be 18 euro via influencer marketing. Next is the average order value, which is 60 euro. Next is return on marketing investment, which is ROMI. In year 1, it will be 1.5x, and in year 3, will be 3.0x, which doubles from year 1. Moving on to the 3-year financial projection, In the revenue part, you can see there are three revenue streams, which is DTC e-commerce, retail sales, and pop-up event. For our total revenue in the first year is 135,000 euro. For year two is 285,000 euro, and for year three is 510,000 euro. Next is the expenses. First, we have website development, hosting and translation, pop-up events, production, influencer and digital marketing, logistics and EU fulfillment, regulatory compliance and certification, staff, and customer service and localization. For our total expenses in year one is 130,000 euros. In year two is 173,000 euros, and in year three is 240,000 euros. We can see an increment in the total expenses as our business grow. And our net profit for year one is 5,000 euro, for year two is 112,000 euro, and for year three is 270,000 euros. For the capital requirements and ROI outlook, the initial year one investment will be 130,000 euros. It covers the EU compliance and certifications, localized e-commerce platform, French influencer partnerships, pop-up activations. The projected ROI by year 3 will be 200%. So what fuels the ROI growth? The key ROI drivers are digital growth and repeat seasonal purchases, scalable ops and low fixed costs, high impact marketing, and efficient inventory via demand analytics. So you can see we emphasize a lot about using influencer, a local influencer. This is because it is to get into the niche of the market to make sure our product does well in France. So we will be studying about a potential expansion to Germany, Belgium, and Netherlands. It is a clean halal and artisanal beauty rising across Europe.
Let's start with the risk assessment. One major challenge is brand recognition and competition. France's fragrance market is crowded with legacy brands like Chanel and Dior. Since our brand is new and foreign, it may struggle to gain visibility. To address this, we propose a digital first approach. Collaboration with influencers and pop-up experiences to build local buzz. Secondly, we face regulatory compliance. The EU enforces strict laws under regulations like REACH and Cosmetics Regulation (EC 1223). Any mistakes can lead to bans or fines. To mitigate this, we suggest hiring EU-based consultants early and focusing on proper documentation and labeling. Lastly, there's the risk of cultural misalignment. Tropical scents and direct translation may not resonate with French consumers, so we recommend launching a localized France edition, using a transcription for marketing and aligning visuals with French allegiance. Next, we cover three more risks. Economic uncertainty. Factors like inflation or weak euro could reduce luxury spending. To stay lean, will prioritize digital-first sales and delay physical return until proven profitable. Another key factor is halal branding perception. In secular France, halal could be misunderstood or politicized. Instead of religious framing, we'll present it as clean, ethical beauty, highlighting alcohol-free and cruelty-free benefits with inclusive messaging. Lastly, logistical and operational risks. Shipping directly from Malaysia may cause delivery delays or poor service perception. To avoid this, we'll partner with EU fulfillment centers and local logistics to improve service and customer satisfaction. To conclude, Scentara Malaysia's entry into France is more than just a business move. It's a step forward toward global ethical luxury. By highlighting halal purity, botanical richness, and sustainable craftsmanship, the brand aligns with evolving values in France, especially among Gen Z and millennials. Our strategy combines digital-first channels with experiential pop-ups to scale efficiently and deliver strong ROI. Ultimately, success depends on localizing branding, adapting to regulations, and presenting halal as inclusive and modern. With the right approach, Scentara can only redefine what global perfumery looks like: clean, cultural, and proudly Malaysian. So that's all from me and my group. Thank you so much for your attention.